Hello and welcome to a One Take Podcast, episode 191. This week we have microphones that work
Yeah,
and
right.
movies that have been seen. Not all movies, but most movies that have been
A lot of
nominated
movies.
for the 2025 Academy Awards. This is our yearly tradition of doing the Oscars before everything has come out to the viewing public. Hello and welcome again. I'm Royden, joined by Dex and Tej. How we doing? Movies are movies back? I can't tell because of these nominations. I don't know.
Movies are kind of back, but like they didn't reward all the movies that brought movies back.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that I'm like, what? How are we going to just ignore it that Zendaya saved cinema this year?
Facts.
Like,
I mean, she is nominated. She is in one of the Best Picture nominees, but she should have been in two of the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah,
I
she
think
should
we
have
all
had
agree
two.
with that.
How are we not acknowledging this? Like, what? we're
I've
just
been
being
telling y'all
disrespectful.
for weeks that Challengers,
Came out too early.
well, one came out too early, but two lives rent free in the people on Twitter's heads and nowhere else.
Yeah,
You
Amelia
know?
Perez is really, really living it up with the fucking people outside of Twitter. Hey, maybe they're wrong, but this film fucking stinks. All right, let's just be honest about it. 13 fucking nominations. Challengers didn't even get nominated for best fucking score, bro. We're living.
That's where the real travesty is.
This is
lies.
disgusting. Amelia Perez gets 13 nominations, and I wasn't even a Luca Hive person before Challengers came out. I personally have never really been a fan of Luca's work. Challengers is real cinema. And for Amelia Perez in this garbage-ass film to get 13 nominations, the second most nominations a movie has ever gotten, by the way, which
Tied
is
with,
a
like,
travesty
Gone with
in
the
itself.
Wind.
Tied with a couple other stinkers, but that's a pod for another day. This is ridiculous.
So now that we know how Tej feels, we can just stop the pod, actually, because I think that's all he wanted to say.
I mean,
This film is not real cinema. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's
What?
just not. It's the second. It has the second best odds to win Best Picture right now. Second best odds to win Best Picture. That's insane.
yeah, that's insane. I no way. But I gotta say, it's very easy to shit on this movie, and that's exactly what we're going to do. But
I just finished it as well.
I can squint and I can tilt my head and I can see how they thought there was a good movie in here. It's not
I agree
good.
with that. I agree with that.
It's not good. But I can see how they got there. 13 nominations is fucking insane. But I can see how there are some people, apparently every person in the awards bodies, literally all the awards bodies love this movie. I can see how they kind of got there and they were like, you know what? I've never seen anything like this. So
Right?
I'll give it that. It's
They're
not
all-
good.
Netflix is going to pay for their crimes.
It's
Netflix
not
is going to
good,
pay for.
but I've never
fucking
seen
crimes.
anything like it. And you gotta acknowledge that. There's not a whole lot else that's like this. I'll give it
All
that.
right. Well, let's get right into it. Amelia Perez, the big winner of the nominations at the very least. Now, it could go the way of our favorite film, The Irishman, which was nominated for 10 Academy Awards via the Netflix money machine and got
Jokes like
zero.
dogs.
The Irishman is better than Amelia Perez. Netflix, you will pay for your
Yeah.
crimes, but The Irishman is better than Amelia Perez.
To that, I say, no duh. Like, it's like,
And The Irishman is not good. Don't get me wrong, but Amelia Perez. Have you ever sat through a musical and said, you know, I really love this musical. All those songs fucking stunk, but I love this musical. No, that's never fucking happened in the history of musicals. The number one rule of musicals is the songs have to bang. Period. End of story. If the songs don't bang, you don't have a fire musical. It just doesn't exist. These songs don't bang at all. They don't bang at all.
So it, along with the Brutalist double-digit nominations, let's just get into the rundown here. Best Picture nominees, starting at the top. Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part Dos, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, which is also nominated for Best International Feature from Brazil.
Not a real film and does not exist.
It has, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. And out of all of those, obviously the glaring thing is Amelia Perez, which I believe premiered at Cannes and it got a rousing ovation
Trash
there.
can.
And, nice. And it got a rousing ovation there. Like the disconnect between critics, filmmakers, and the viewing public on this movie is astounding
It's
because
huge.
it doesn't have bad reviews. You would think like, oh, it has bad. It doesn't. It has bad reviews on top of all this, and it's just filmmakers smelling their. I keep saying this, smelling their own farts a little bit about creativity.
It insists upon itself.
It is not that. Critics like this movie as well too. Most critics, most highbrow critics on Rotten Tomatoes, go look it up. B pluses all around. Has a 71 Metascore. But you know what it doesn't? It has a 5.9 on IMDb and a 20% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
20%?
That's nuts.
Out
Insane.
out of all of those, the surprise maybe, and maybe not so much considering it's got a lot of traction. The surprise is I'm still here, but also the biggest surprise, The Substance.
Why would you be surprised that a movie that doesn't exist is nominated for Best Picture? It happens every year. There's
That's
always a movie that doesn't actually exist that gets nominated for Best Picture. It happens every year.
It's
Remember-
usually the Netflix movie that doesn't exist.
Yes, that's true. A lot of times it feels like it's a Netflix movie. It's like, do you remember ever watching like Hair of the Dog or Year of the Dog, whatever that film is? No, I don't remember.
no.
It doesn't happen. That movie does not exist. It's not a real movie. You never heard somebody drop Power with the Dog bars on you when you've been out in the streets. That film doesn't exist.
Yeah, name one thing that happened in the Two Popes. You can't.
I literally cannot. That's not a real film.
There were two popes.
In Conclave, there were at least 9 popes.
Yeah.
We've already upgraded at every position now. 9 popes.
Conclave is the only good Pope movie to ever exist. For what?
Facts. That's true.
The only good television or movie property about the Pope is Conclave, and for that, I think it should be awarded.
I
It
agree
made
with
the
that.
Catholic Church cool.
Of these, I believe between us, we've all seen all of these except for Nickel
I'm
Boys,
Still Here
which
doesn't
does
exist.
exist. I'm Still Here, which doesn't exist. Nickel Boys exist. I want to say that, but it's like they're waiting till February 27th to drop it on MGM Plus because I just tried to stream it recently.
I'm
Said
so
you gotta
tired
wait
of being
till
smarter
after.
than movie executives. I'm so tired of being smarter than them. I'm tired of it. What are we doing, guys? Get your fucking movie into the hands of the people. You know, one of the favorite for best documentary is literally not available to stream in America or watch in America because it's about Palestine. It quite literally does not exist in America. You cannot find it. You cannot watch it unless you have a VPN. And it's projected right now to win best documentary. What are we doing? Like, what are we actually doing? I thought this was about getting the movies into the arms of the people and letting people fucking see your movie. Don't hide it. Well, unless you're Emilio Perez, you should have hid this shit, Netflix. You should have put this shit behind a paywall or something. You should have hid that shit. That shit stinks.
So out of all of these, what is the biggest surprise nomination for y'all?
The Substance is huge. This is only the 7th horror movie ever to be nominated, and obviously, like, a body horror movie has never even come close to being nominated for an Oscar. It's not a thing that anyone could have imagined, even though The Substance is amazing, and we all loved it on this podcast. Even Dex, he doesn't even like horror movies. The Substance is great. It being nominated for Best Picture is mind-blowing. It's just, these are not the kind of movies that the Oscars celebrate. They don't celebrate fucking body horror. Only sickos who go to movie theaters watch body horror movies, and then they disappear into their cult followings. You don't nominate them for Best Picture. So that was the biggest surprise to me, other than the movies that don't exist, like I'm Still Here, which isn't a real thing.
I'll add, not only was it nominated for Best Picture, it was nominated for Best Director, Best Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyling. Guys,
Crazy.
this has a chance to win Best Picture.
It literally does. Like, it's got enough below the line categories to make a win. And Demi's probably it looks like she's a shoe-in to win that award. Like, it's actually crazy.
It feels like it's Demi Moore's award to lose at this point, which is kind of crazy. Like the Golden Globes happened and she won that one, and I was like, oh, that's just some Golden Globe shit. They always do one of those, whatever. But now it's like, oh shit, Demi Moore might actually do it.
We'll see how she does at the SAG Awards. I think that'll tell a lot for these acting races going forward. But moving on to Best Director, I just mentioned it there. Sean Baker for Anora, Bradley Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard, I don't know.
Sure.
Audiard. Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez.
Can we talk about Mr. Audiard for a second? Oh, wait, you can.
Caroline Fargi for the Substance.
Did y'all see the quotes?
Caroline Fargi, sorry.
Did y'all see that the director of Amelia Perez came out? He's a French guy, obviously from his name, and he came out and said, like, no, I didn't really do any research about Mexico. Like,
there's a big thing about Amelia Perez, and we can go on and on and on about this movie.
Did you research for this movie? It's like, oh, no, I just kind of went by vibes. I just kind of...
I've seen enough stuff. I've seen Narcos. You've seen Narcos.
Yeah, but you've seen one Mexican TV show. You've seen them all. Like, I just put it together with vibes. Like, it's fine. Like, we casted a couple Mexicans, not very many, but a couple Mexicans, and they just told me what to do. So it
is a Mexican story about Mexico that mentions Mexican towns and provinces by name, filmed in Europe with a bunch of Europeans.
Filmed literally in Europe.
Okay, that's no disrespect to her. Congratulations on your Academy Award nomination. That's the most Zoe Saldana shit I've ever heard. Like, that is exactly some shit that Zoe Saldana would do.
Damn, that's so true. That makes me sad. That is so true.
That's some Zoe Saldana shit.
A Dominican, Puerto Rican, American
who played Nina Simone.
Yeah.
Who played Nina Simone in blackface? Don't forget the
blackface.
Yeah. So I for a long time, this was Sean Baker's to lose. That has since faded hard.
Honora was the number one seed, and now it's the distant third, and the Honora campaign feels like it's over.
I have no idea what to make of this. It feels like the press that Amelia Perez is getting and how foreign, I guess, the voting body is now for the Academy Awards is playing a lot into this. This could go to Audiard. And if that happens, that spells like we may have like Amelia Perez on the brain. The voting body will not be, dissuaded from doing this. So
there's no way they're going to kick us in the balls like that. There's no way, bro.
It's feeling like it's Brutalist guy. Whatever his name
Bradley
is.
Corbet.
Yeah, him. I feel like it's going to be him.
Have either of you seen The Brutalist?
I saw it the other day.
What'd you think?
I think it's pretty brilliant film, honestly.
Did the AI-ness of it all bother you because you knew about that going in?
I think at the very end I was looking for it more so than I would have been, and I think that is inherently the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't stand out to me enough to really docket that many points. I do still find it like, but also I was looking for it, so I was just kind of like, all right, it really didn't do anything to. It's not like they had AI Adrian Brody like walk onto screen. You know what I mean? But it when you're touting this film as like we brought back, like we said a week ago, we brought back this dead technology to now use the most up-to-date technology.
Yeah, that's the nasty part of it.
Is one of those things that I'm just kind of like, okay. But I tried to watch I tried to meet the film where it was at. Towering film, achievement of a film. Honestly, 3.5 hours. Bring back intermissions. That shit slapped. That was awesome.
I love an intermission. If you're going to make that movie that long, give us an intermission. Thank you to the filmmakers for giving us.
By the way, because of that, it didn't feel like it was 3.5 hours. I went out. I took a piss. I got a Jack and Coke at the bar. Came back and finished the Brutalist.
Swag. It was
awesome. So
movie theater bars underrated.
If they would stop charging $16 for a Jack and Coke, that'd be great.
But it's just like,
for a Jack and Coke in LA
I can walk out here and I can get a Wicked themed margarita. This is awesome.
This is true.
I love this.
By the way, if you want to nominate a musical and like give a best picture to a musical, which I'm totally down for because musicals are fucking awesome, Wicked is quite literally right there. And everyone and their mom has fucking seen Wicked. And let me remind you that Wicked is fucking amazing. It's amazing. It's better than Amelia Perez in every way. What are we doing?
Wicked is getting skunked, brother.
Relax.
I just don't understand how this happened in the year we put out Wicked and made everybody $9 bajillion. We're just going to be like, no, Amelia Perez, that's the musical we're going to elevate to the top of the fucking odds? That's crazy to me. Wicked is 3 times better than Amelia Perez. 3 times.
But it doesn't look like shit. So there's the
Yeah, Amelia Perez does not look like shit. That's true. I can give it that. It looks great. It doesn't look great though. It just looks like a fucking movie that's filmed in Europe.
It looks like a Netflix movie. Yeah.
It looks like they know where to place lights, so that they're not the only thing you see in the shot.
Speaking of, did you see everybody coming out and crying for John M. Chu that he didn't get a Best Director nomination?
Yeah,
come on, guys. What are we doing? Like, we can relax, guys. Like, we can really relax. We can relax. Like, no disrespect to John Chu, great film. We don't have to give everybody Best Director because we love a movie. That's not quite the same. Like, some movies are fucking awesome, and we don't need to recognize the director individually, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Guys,
it's okay for us to just recognize.
That's what the money's for.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna
lead
go,
actress and supporting actress and the costume designers and
Facts.
all the good people who did things here.
And none of the cinematography, because please, and we can admit that Wicked doesn't look great at all times. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah,
It does
verbal meme. That's what the money is for, John Hamm. Verbal meme.
They
Yeah,
got a nomination for editing of Wicked.
Oof.
And sorry, visual effects of Wicked. And I said, really? Are we really going to reward the visual effects of Wicked? I love Wicked, but visual effects, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, visual
What are we
effects I
honestly
don't know
doing?
about, but
What are we
I
doing?
mean, if I don't know which category this is, maybe it's production design. Them fucking the big giant wheels in the library, that shit goes hard.
That does go hard.
Give
That's
them their
true.
trophies. I don't care.
I gotta kill my actors to get this on this Ferris wheel in the middle of this movie. I think one that I wasn't anticipating, and again, sight unseen. I love James Mangold as a director. I think he kind of got the treatment. It's like 20 years later, he's just following up. I Walk the Line with the same movie a little bit, which is good for him about a different subject. I didn't get to A Complete Unknown yet. Put your movie out on streaming because it stopped making money. Why not just it plateaued? Let me go see it. You know,
I haven't seen it either.
they took it out of mid-market theaters, but he getting nominated or take a name out of here, and Denis Villeneuve 2 years in a row,
Come on, guys.
or two Oscar, not 2 movies in a row for Dune, getting snubbed for Best Director.
We can get Dune 1 the fuck out of here, but Dune 2 deserves much more. Like, if you want to talk about a Best Director, you don't need to bring up the director Amelia Perez. You need to bring up Oscar. You need to bring up Denny. He deserves to be in that category. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's really an affront. He's never been nominated for Best Director.
He will be, but
wild.
it's really wild. Like, it's actually wild that he's never been considered for that. And Dune 2, it's an achievement. But again, I think Dune 2 came out too soon. Dune 2 and Challengers feel like that shit came out 9 years ago. That was basically during Trump's first term in terms of what we perceive things to be in terms of time. That feels like a million years ago. And I just feel like that handicaps these movies when it shouldn't, but it really does fuck up their chances to go Oscars. And, last year we had Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was a great story, and it came out so super early. But that's the exception to the rule. When you drop your movie that early, it's hard to keep it in the discourse for long enough, especially now that we're all like into the next whatever the next big thing is. And that shit was gone from the consciousness of the moviegoers because it came out so early.
Well, that's why the Oscars campaigns for Barbie and Oppenheimer were so awesome. Like those movies came out in July. You know what I mean? And they were big blockbuster successes. And maybe the weight of Christopher Nolan he can throw it around a little bit better than Denis can.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but they're like similar filmmakers, So
Yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, if Oppenheimer had come out like at the same time as Mission Impossible instead of at the same time as Barbie, is it the same? Like, the Barbenheimer of it all kind of carries that movie, I feel like, in terms of staying in the discourse. Like
there's
if
potential
it
for that.
came out and it
bigger
got
than-
just shit on, like, by Barbie after Barbie came out, like Mission Impossible did, maybe it goes the way of Mission Impossible. Obviously, incredible film. It was number one. I think it was number one on all of our lists last year. It's like the best movie of the year. But, I think Barbenheimer definitely like kept it up there.
The next Nolan film may be the greatest film of all time. Every time I see a new person added to that cast, I am just like, please, I'm just like fucking I'm just like a kid at a fucking birthday party looking at birthday cake. Like everybody adding to this cast, everybody we see on this screen could be the best possible actor or actress of all time. Like, we know he's not going to give the women anything to do, but this is literally a story of the Odyssey, and the women don't have shit to do in that whole story. So it's kind of like you can't blame him for this one. Like there actually is nothing for the women to do in this film.
One thing you know about Anne Hathaway, she's gonna get her bars off in a good 5 minutes of screen time. She's gonna do that shit regardless.
We're gonna see if Tom Holland has the goods outside of the Spideyverse.
Listen, I'm ready for whatever performance he gives us. Nolan won't let you fuck up the movie from the center of the movie. He just won't let that happen. But I'm very interested to see what Holland looks like in a movie like this, because all the forays we've seen outside of like comic book stuff or IP stuff have not been great. Haven't been great. Haven't really loved them.
Moving on to Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Garçon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madsen for Honora, Demi Moore for The Substance.
Wait, which character is? Oh, is that the trans character?
She is Amelia Perez.
Okay, got it.
And Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Let's see. Yeah, 2 non-English speaking roles awarded for, Best Actress. Demi Moore, a staple of Hollywood in the 80s and 90s. Cynthia Erivo giving a performance that I believe made us all cry for Wicked. And Mikey Madsen, the young upstart. Unfortunately, she was the leader in the Clubhouse for a long time.
She was the leader.
Unfortunately for her, I don't know. You're not Demi Moore yet. So
Honora fell off a cliff, bro. Honora was there.
I wonder why. Did they piss people off? Like, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Like, I literally don't know what happened. It fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I feel like we keep bringing up everything everywhere all at once, but like Michelle Yeoh and the whole cast and crew basically were like everywhere for the entire year.
That's true.
They were always at like parties and screenings and interviews and shit together the entire fucking time, and everyone was like, "These people are fucking delightful," and they've been in Hollywood.
Same thing Wicked's doing now. Wicked, we've seen Erivo and Ariana together 90 times on the timeline. So
Honora just didn't have those moments. Everyone's like, "Yeah, Mikey Madsen's amazing," and then she just kind of went away, which like that's cool. I would go away too, but you're not gonna win an Oscar like that. You gotta be in these streets.
That's fair. That's perfectly fair. Damn.
Y'all will have to talk about Demi Moore a little bit more. To complete honesty on this podcast, still haven't gotten around to The Substance. Like I said, my real job.
You haven't seen The Substance. You need to see The Substance.
I'm going to before we come on here and talk about the Oscars another time. I will have seen all of these movies.
Yeah, me too. Except
feels
for
like
I'm Still Here, which is literally not a film that exists. So I don't know if
which feels like a disservice to our viewing public. But literally half of these movies, I'm not kidding. Don't even talk to me about documentaries. Half of those are untraceable right now.
Yes, you literally can't find these things.
I gotta tell you, I never give a fuck about the documentaries.
They're the best films of the year, brother.
Sugarcane bangs, bro. I watched Sugarcane the other day, which is right now it's trending for second in best documentary, but it's a ways behind in the odds. The odds are all over this Palestine movie that nobody can watch. The odds are way, way, way in favor of it.
I will say though, the Museum of Fine Arts here in Houston, all my Houston locals, they usually do screenings of the shorts. It's so much fucking fun. You gotta go check that shit out. It's fucking awesome.
Well, luckily between us, I think we can sort of navigate our way through this without sounding like idiots for not having seen. But I'm just saying, we do this for funsies again. So, what about Demi Moore's performance? Why do y'all think, other than being uber famous forever, why do you think that she was nominated?
Because it is a very hard performance. It's not an easy thing to do what Demi Moore is tasked with doing, both physically and also just like the way that the film is set up. Like that role is not easy. Like the only thing I can compare to really is the Nosferatu performance from Lily Rose Depp, because that's such a taxing performance. There's so much that she has to do physically. There's so many like little soliloquies and monologues. Like that is just not an easy performance. Demi Moore similar, and like the physicality of the performance is just it's mind-blowingly good. And Demi Moore, like you said, has been a sweetheart in Hollywood for damn near 40 years, man. She's made so much dope shit. She's been involved in so much dope shit. And this movie is so centered around her. Like it is literally a movie about her and a movie about aging and a movie about what it means to be a woman of her age. And so it gives you a chance as the viewer to look back on the Demi Moore that you knew versus the Demi Moore that you're meeting in this film. And it's like a one of those serendipitous moments where this comes at a perfect moment in her career, and this comes at a time where they want to celebrate her. And this is the kind of movie where you could really celebrate Demi Moore and her performance, which I thought was mind blowing. So I'm very happy that she got nominated.
And I also think, like, looking at last year when Emma Stone won for Poor Things, which is a great movie and she was great in it, it feels like the kind of thing that the Academy would award now. That's
a great point.
Like,
that's a really great point.
It's like crazy, and she's running around naked, and she's like showing all this emotion, and then she gets fat, and then she gets like, like she just does a bunch of very dramatic shit.
It's the most.
It's
someone
the
say.
most.
Yes.
And they love that shit now. Like, obviously, there's still, they're like quieter performances to get nominated. Like, I assume Felicity Jones is pretty quiet performance or whatever. But like, it seems like the winners, they're going for shit that's a little more over the top these days. Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once is like a little over the top, and she's like doing karate and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like Demi Moore's kind of in the driver's seat now. Mikey Madsen, hate it had to be you. Hopefully you'll get back here. You never know.
She's 22 years old. She'll be
also a very physical performance. I definitely agree with Dex's point that, like, when you are seeing these women giving these very physical performances, I think that the Academy has an appreciation for how difficult that is, but also an appreciation for what it looks like to have a woman being very physical on screen in whatever way that manifests itself. Like some of the shit that these women have to do in those performances, everything that Dex just mentioned, are like the sheer physicality of doing some of that stuff. The sheer physicality of Mikey's performance in that scene where they abduct her in the house. Like, that is not an easy thing to shoot 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row. That's got to be extremely physically. You're screaming at the top of your lungs. You're fighting. You're trying to make it look real, and which means that you're really doing that shit. And that is exhausting work. And I think they have an appreciation for the craft of that.
We'd be remiss without saying that Carla Sofia Garcon, I believe, is the first openly trans woman to be nominated for Best Actress. So
amazing that happened.
Yeah,
that film stinks though. But amazing that happened. That film stinks though.
And like, her performance, first of all, is she a lead actress?
I was gonna say they're doing some category.
Yeah, that's a really great point too. Zoe is the lead actress of this movie. Point blank, period. You're with Zoe as soon as the movie starts. You're with her the entire time, and she's on screen probably twice as much as the person who's nominated for Best Actress. That doesn't make any sense to me.
They're doing a little category fraud because you could also nominate Zoe Saldana in this category if you were so inclined to do that. She gets nominated in Best Supporting Actress category. We'll just go to that really quickly. Monica Barbero for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked,
let's go.
Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. She's in that movie for 2 seconds, but has some great lines.
2 scenes.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. I have no idea what this category is going to be. Maybe Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. She gets a couple of really impactful scenes in that movie and is heartbreaking at times in the movie.
God, I hope it's Ariana. They're not going to do it, but I wish
could
they
be.
would.
I think if it was going to win anything besides like Best Costume, like, why not? She's
Because
running a hell of a campaign.
They hate pop stars.
Zoe is the current odds leader.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I've seen that, but like it is because she has been in 1,000 things. I think she has the weight of James Cameron behind her.
That's true.
Like, she's been in Marvel forever. She's one of the highest grossing box office stars ever.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, like,
is Marvel going to go back to back with Robert Downey Jr. and Zoe Saldana? Is the MCU back, brother?
And maybe Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Best Actor really quickly. Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, who is running, God bless him,
he is campaigning, guys. He is campaigning out there, and I respect it.
Man, he is on a Trumpian style march.
The kid gets it.
He's been everywhere, dude. Literally everywhere. I love it. Turn
Coleman
that shit up,
Domingo
Timmy.
for Sing Sing, which was the supposed darling of the award season. I mean, it came out literally now 2 years ago, but like it was the supposed like one of the best reviewed films of the year, had all of these nominations in film festivals, and then
Nickel Boys took its spot.
kind of got blanked. Like
Nickel Boys took its spot. They had one black spot. They said, "I'm sorry, brother. We got Cynthia up here. We got Nickel Boys up here. There's no room for Sing Sing. We'll give you some nominations down, but no more room for Sing Sing. We have to nominate. I'm still here. A film that literally doesn't exist."
Coleman Domingo for Conclave, or Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, which goes against a lot that has been going on with that movie, meaning one, that nobody saw it because they couldn't get it released anywhere at first. Two, that nobody wanted to campaign on the laurels of that film.
Especially given the political climate.
Yeah, because no other actors wanted to talk to them about that movie. And so he was nominated for a film that I watched called A Different Man for a Golden Globe, and won a Golden Globe for A Different Man. Maybe that propelled him to get nominated for The Apprentice, or maybe it is like the liberal elites that run, this award show that are like, we got to get the Trump movie in there. That's casting a shadow over.
I will not be
his life.
I know that we are going to try to watch a lot of these movies so that we can opine on them more fully in the future. I am not watching a Trump movie. That's just not happening.
Even if it's going to be like The Whale. Even if it's a takedown of Trump?
I don't know. It's too new. It's too close. We're living this shit day to day. I'm sure Sebastian Stan is phenomenal in the film. I'm seeing the performance every day on my timeline. I don't need to see a Trump movie.
I'm going to watch it.
Don't. I reject it.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch it because that's my president, guys. Come on.
Have some respect for the office. Yeah. It's not political, Teach. It's not about the money either.
Sebastian Stan is an Oscar nominee. I find that to be fascinating, and I like Sebastian Stan.
He has by far the most fascinating career outside of our Queen Florence Pugh, of all the Marvel actors, like the most fascinating career. He's just like, I'm going to supplement all the weird shit that I want to do with being in 2 or 3 Marvel films every 5 years. And he's still good in those movies, in the Marvel movies. And he doesn't like sell those performances. But then he, like, instead of going and doing, all the Chris Evans movies that don't exist, he's like, hey, I'm going to go do really cool shit, like A Different Man.
Sebastian Stan has the worst odds to win. Brody has the best odds to win right now.
Adrian Brody gives a really good performance. He gives probably...
Why are you booing him?
AI is why I'm booing.
Oh, okay.
He gives probably his best performance since he won an Oscar for The Piano.
The Piano,
yeah.
I don't have any like actual facts to back any of this, but I'm keeping an eye on Chalamet. The Academy clearly fucking loves A Complete Unknown, and he's running an incredible campaign. I could see it happening.
Which movie do y'all think has better songs, The Complete Unknown or Amelia Perez?
Oh my god. Ooh.
Amelia Perez has gone electric.
Okay, I don't hate Bob Dylan as a songwriter. I fucking despise his voice, though.
Okay, that's fair. His voice is awful.
The songwriting in Amelia
Guys,
Perez
it's a complete unknown. It's a complete unknown. What are we talking about?
Do you like the musical styles of Bob Dylan? Because I fucking hate them.
I don't.
I like when they're sung and played by Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, that's fair. Same, because he can add some soul to that shit as opposed to Bob Dylan, who's the worst voice in the history of singing.
Best Supporting Actor, Yura Borisov for Nora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice.
We're really nominating The Apprentice twice.
Yep.
We're really doing that.
Yep. Kieran Culkin's going to win.
I love Jeremy Strong. Why are we doing that? Why? I don't understand why we're doing that.
Yeah, where's fucking Stanley Tucci? What's going on here, guys?
That fell off somehow. Conclave got like 8 or 9 Oscar nominations,
It still fell off.
and it still somehow fell way short of what I think even we anticipated.
Also,
8
is
Oscar nominations.
Denzel Washington the oldest actor who you feel comfortable saying will be back and get another Academy Award nomination?
That's a really great question. The answer is definitely yes.
He's going to be in a Spike Lee film.
Yeah, it's coming.
Because Denzel Washington's what, like 75?
He's fucking doing Othello. Like he's going to get. He's going to
We're
be
like,
back.
He's old as shit, but we're like, Denzel will be back. It's fine.
Yeah,
We'll get another one.
I
Well,
really
they
like,
gave one to Anthony Hopkins, and he's
That's a
like,
good
he
point.
couldn't be bothered to be there. He's so old.
Denzel Washington is 70, by the way.
I really like Kieran
correct
Culkin.
myself.
I am a Secession baby. It has raised me in its image, and I've been changed by experiencing Secession and what Strong did and what Culkin did on that show. I like the performance that Culkin gives in A Real Pain, and I like A Real Pain, but I don't love either of those things. I don't love A Real Pain, and I don't love his performance in A Real Pain. And I think across the board, I haven't seen Brody yet. Across the board, I think our men's categories are kind of oral.
Down year.
I think it's a down year for male performances. I really do. You're saying why? I like Culkin's performance. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that he's bad, but it did not move me in a way that I thought, holy shit, this guy's going to be nominated for an Oscar, or holy shit, this guy's going to win Best Supporting Actor. I didn't feel that way about the movie. I just didn't. The performance didn't hit me like that. But it's a good performance, and I like Culkin. But it literally feels like he's playing his Secession character to a T. Like, I've seen so much of this performance because I watched 3 seasons of Secession, the greatest show of all time, and so it felt too close to that.
Do you think both these nominations are coming off of, hey, y'all were in Secession and awesome for 5 seasons?
100% yes. 100% yes.
This is where TV bleeds over into movies where it's like, we'll give you the best supporting nom.
100% yes, because these guys are fucking awesome on that show. He's basically given the same performance from that show, except for he's a lot more like emotionally vulnerable, even though like he's still trying to hide it. It's kind of like the journey of the movie is his emotions are kind of slowly spilling out in terms of he's trying to hide them in, but they keep coming out. And it's a perfectly fine movie. I don't think this is a best picture. Oh my God, I was so moved by this kind of movie. It just felt like it was fine. It was a good movie.
Guy Pearce gets nominated. I believe it's his first nomination. He's been around forever. He's been a great actor in a bunch of things. His first nomination. He's really, really good. I'm telling you guys, the Brutalist, as much as like we got on here and we're like the AI thing, and yes, bad. I don't know what to tell you. Like it was just like a really good movie, and he's a scumbag and a piece of shit. And like it's the character in the movie is a scumbag and a piece of shit and like brutal, for lack of a better term. And it is such a really, really good performance. He has no chance of winning, but I liked watching him act.
Take the AI thing. Take the AI thing out of it. No, he doesn't have a chance. He's 4th on the list right now. Take the AI thing out of it. When you look back in 5 years, and if The Brutalist is Best Picture, well, how are you going to feel about The Brutalist being Best Picture in terms of the quality of the movie, not the AI part of it? Is it that good? Is it like, yes, this is fucking Parasite level? Like, this is a Best Picture that we're going to be proud of in 5 to 10 years?
I don't think it's Parasite because I vibe with Parasite, and Parasite's like inherently more entertaining than what The Brutalist is offering. But like, and that's just Bong Joon-ho.
Bong is him.
Yeah, so like it's inherently more entertaining and has. I don't think it has the Parasite comparison is interesting because it is like about upward mobility in society. Obviously, the movies are, and the Brutalist is an immigrant story and like what America gives and takes from you as said person or to anyone. I think it gets a little bit out over its skis with trying to tell some of the ideas that it wants to, whereas Parasite's like fastball, 100 miles an hour down the middle, like. You know, you cannot be confused about what we're saying here. And at points, I felt too stupid to engage with The Brutalist on its level. And maybe that's my my fault for film criticism, not having the adept knowledge to talk to it in that way or talk about it in that way. But yeah, I do think that it has a message that it's trying to get across. It does that really well. It looks good doing it. It makes you feel things throughout the movie that I wasn't prepared. I was like, surely I'll be bored with this film by hour 3. Not really. I just sat there in my seat, like completely enraptured by what I was seeing on the screen. And at points you're like, ooh, ew. Like you feel bad, you feel nasty, you feel gross. Like I said, it gets out over its skis a little bit, trying to land the plane a couple of times with its messaging. Do I think that Bradley Corbet's messaging is murky at best sometimes? Yeah, I do. But will I be upset if in 10 years we look back and say The Brutalist won? I think film populists will be like, ugh, what was that? Why did we do that? But it won't be as bad as something like The Artist or like It'll be a middle to, even though it's a more towering achievement than those films, I think more people will be okay with it than they will be, I can't believe fucking Crash won or whatever,
Are you going to, would you look back and say that The Shape of Water or The Brutalist, which one was the better film?
I haven't seen Shape of Water. I refuse.
It fucking bangs. It
bangs. The Shape of Water is so good.
It fucking bangs. I know that it's weird. I know that fish checks is inherently weird to engage with. Michael Shannon fucking crushes it. That
and
film.
I know I should have seen
incredible.
I should have seen it because I'm normally an Oscars completist. It was just one of those that escaped me. I believe it's on Max, but
it fucking bangs.
And I love.
I feel like I watched it on Max like during the pandemic. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll finally watch the fish sex movie. And I came out of it being like, holy shit, they were right.
I was slandering that shit when it was. I said, they nominated the fish sex movie. I went back and watched it. I said, holy shit, this bangs. This is a great film.
I think it's also inherent because like Del Toro has been a master forever too.
Yeah.
So like they were going to award him eventually. But I don't know. I let me look at the Oscars of the last 20 years because I think Josh sent that graphic and we were opining on the in the group message about how there's not, it's like they're like 10 of 20 over the last 20 years.
Yeah, they hit about a 50% rate, and the other 50% you'll be like, whoa, what the fuck is this film? Or there was a clearly better film that's sitting right there that y'all just didn't award or nominate.
Like, well, I think better of it than like Green Book. Yes, Nomadland for sure.
Because it's controversial. It's like culturally controversial, not just controversial like because of AI.
The artist, sure. Like the King's Speech. I like the King's Speech. It's better than the King's Speech. Like, I think it's on par with something like. And Slumdog Millionaire is a more entertaining movie than The Brutalist, just if you're looking for popcorn stuff. But like something like Slumdog Millionaire is kind of what I would compare it to.
Is The Brutalist not a popcorn? It doesn't feel like a popcorn movie because it's 3.5 hours. But like, is there any popcornness? Is there any Fabelmans type popcorn in there? Or what's the movie about the fucking? What was the other one that got nominated last year about the war that split up the family? What the fuck is that movie called? I forgot.
I don't, it's weird because like the entire movie basically is an immigrant from Hungary trying to become an architect. And you're like, okay, why is that like for a popcorn moviegoer, Den of Thieves, it ain't. But like, why would I be entertained by that? But you're just sitting there kind of letting it wash over you the entire time.
Did he ever consider using the building materials in his architecture from Megalopolis? Did he ever?
Yeah, no, he used Megalon to build a society.
Man, I forgot it was called Megalon. That movie is the worst fucking movie.
Yeah, Adam Driver robbed, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say Megalopolis not found on this list. What are the Oscars?
Shia LaBeouf robbed.
Let me just say real quick.
Aubrey Plaza for
Robbed.
Best Actress. We
Big
really
robbed.
we should have got Aubrey Plaza for Best Actress.
What
We
was her
shoulda got
name?
it.
Like Honey Platinum or something?
Wow, Platinum.
Wow, Platinum.
Auntie Wow.
I'm going to be thinking about that movie for the rest of my life. So congratulations to Francis Ford Coppola for that, because I'm going to be thinking about that forever.
We need to have a conversation about Adam Driver. Okay, I
He
like
will
Adam
be
Driver
in
a lot.
anything.
He will literally be in it.
That is his problem. He will be in anything.
The best criticism I've heard about Adam Driver is that he has worked with all the great masters in their worst films.
In their worst possible movie.
It's like, shit, brother, that sucks for you, you know. But
Hey, Adam Driver, I love you, and what you did in Episode 7 of Star Wars is still legendary to me, and I don't care that is the New Hope again. I don't care. You're in fucking Banks. I
You
love
will
what
not
he
be
did in that
forgotten.
film.
let
It
me
will
tell
not
you
be
somebody real quick while we move on real quick, who does not want to be there, and they're going to pan to him, and he's going to look shocked that he's even invited. You're Borisov for Honora.
forgotten.
When they called his name, when they called somebody else besides him to win the Golden Globe, he looked more relieved than any human has ever looked relieved in his entire life.
So yeah,
He
do
does-
not make me go on the stage.
He does not want to get up there and speak in front of all those people.
Really
Um,
like his performance, but he's only nominated for that last scene, right? Like that's the only.
Well, I
it's
think
literally
he's
that
good,
scene.
he's good throughout. I really enjoyed
I
it.
think he's good throughout too, but they're not gonna make that guy Oscar nominee until that last scene. Like that last scene is the emotional weight. Throughout, he's funny and he's perfectly pitched, and I think his performance is great. But he's nominated because of that last scene. That's why he's nominated.
Best original screenplay. This is where the money's made for some of this stuff. Is Honora by Sean Baker, The Brutalist, Bradley Corbet, and Mona Fastvold. A Real Pain by Jesse Eisenberg. So twice nominated Jesse Eisenberg.
Insane that Jesse Eisenberg is now an Oscar-nominated director. Insane.
He didn't get nominated for directing, but for
Not for director,
screenplay.
but for his yes.
Yeah, September 5, I guess is how they're calling it, by Tim Fellbaum and Moritz Bender.
Good
And
film.
The Substance by Coralie Fargi.
September 5 is real cinema. I'm glad it got a nomination somewhere. I feel like this is the throw a Nora a bone category.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
that
think-
could be the case.
I don't have the odds pulled up for this, but yeah, I have no idea. Best adapted screenplay: A Complete Unknown by Jay Cox and James Mangold. Conclave by Peter Strahan.
This is where Conclave should get its
You
moment.
know, Amelia Perez for Jacques Audiard, Thomas Bygane and Nicholas Levici. Nickel Boys for Ramel Ross and Jocelyn Barnes. Sing Sing for Clint Bentley, Greg Quidar, Clarence Malkin, and John Divine G. Whitfield. Clarence Malkin, was he an actor in that movie as well?
Yes,
And he was imprisoned and in the Sing Sing program, right?
correct.
Wasn't he originally a part of the Sing Sing
So was
program?
the G, both of them.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
they didn't get nominated in Best Supporting, which would have been, I think, a lot of people's picks originally for Best Supporting Actor was
I can see
Clarence
that.
Malkin. But what is going on here? Okay, but they get
Conclave
thrown
is the
as
favorite
Conclave is the favorite for Best.
for best of that. Yeah, Conclave is favorite, and Amelia Perez is second.
I don't.
What is Amelia Perez based on? Was it a book or?
No idea.
Let me look. I genuinely have y'all seen
Is
seen
Amelia
the,
Perez a better movie if Lin-Manuel Miranda comes in and he just does the Hamilton song?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It really is, and I'm sorry, I don't love Lin-Manuel Miranda either way. I don't love him, but it's definitely a better movie if he comes in and does the music for sure. The music in this movie absolutely stinks. It just stinks. It's not good.
Not a single banger on the soundtrack is crazy.
not one banger, bro.
I don't know what it was based off of, but have y'all seen the Hispanic criticisms of this movie and how it's been?
They made a French
absolutely-
version. They made a short version and a French version, and it's just all the stereotypes. Like everybody's just eating baguettes randomly for no reason. Like they made a French version making fun of the French culture. Like they feel like Amelia Perez has made fun of their culture.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't think people in or at least the people on Twitter in Mexico are not very happy with this.
They are not happy at all. But they're like, "What the fuck is this?" bullshit ass. And then the Oscars are like, yeah, 13 nominations for that. Let's go.
Can't believe it, man. That's
Literally
just fucking
insane.
nuts.
Best international feature, I'm Still Here from Brazil. The Girl with the Needle from Denmark. Emilia Perez from France, not Mexico. The Seed of the Sacred Fig
from France is just insane to me.
The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany, and Flow from Latvia, which is awesome because Flow is also nominated for Best Animated Feature, and that movie is a delight. I watched it the other day.
I've heard great things about it.
It is a delight.
I watched The Wild Robot, which is also nominated for Best Animated Picture, and I liked it. I didn't love it as much as other people did, but I liked it.
Best Documentary Feature, Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, which is the film that you mentioned.
That's the favorite. No Other Land. You can't find it, viewer, unless you got a VPN. Trust me, I tried.
All of these have the distributor next to them. Like Black Box Diaries is from MTV, Porcelain Wars from Picture House, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat from Kino Lorber, and Sugarcane from Nat Geo. The only one that doesn't have a distributor is No Other Land.
Nobody will put out No Other Land because they're cowards and because it's about Israel and Palestine. So no one in America will touch that with a stick. But apparently, it's fucking amazing. It is the current favorite to win. Although I wonder I know this is like the body's more international than it's ever been, but I wonder if it's too controversial for someone to distribute it and make money off of. How is it not too controversial to award Best Picture, which is the Best Documentary, which is just going to make Americans seek it out? I find that to be a little weird, and maybe it won't win. But the second favorite is called Sugarcane, and it's also really good. It's Nat Geo, and I watched it last night, and I really enjoyed it. It's very sad, but
apparently No Other Land is made by a Palestinian-Israeli collective. So, nobody's touching it, but it has like a 90% on Metacritic, 8.3 on IMDb.
I will find that film and watch it. I always make sure I watch at least the top couple of documentaries in terms of the odds, and that's why I ran Sugarcane last night. But I'm gonna find this movie. The fact that they won't let me see it makes me want to see it more. So I'm gonna find this movie.
Hell yeah.
Best Animated Feature, Flow, which I said was delightful. There's no words spoken in it. It's essentially a silent film about animals, and I really loved it. Inside Out 2, hell yeah.
Great film.
Memoir of a Snail, not a real film. I don't want to discourage anybody, but I'll probably watch that too. I usually end up watching all the animated features as well. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul from Netflix.
Sure.
And
Wallace and Gromit got a couple nominations. I wonder if I haven't
who's
seen
keeping
that.
Wallace and Gromit in business? Do y'all know anybody who's like? Do y'all know anyone who is like? Yeah, taking the kids this weekend. We're seeing Wallace and Gromit. Like,
hey, the original Wallace and Gromits are great.
That's hilarious.
But like, it's 2025, man. Who is keeping Wallace and Gromit
in business? Wallace and Gromit is the Arby's of the animated world, bros. How do they keep staying open?
And
who is going to these?
It's like on your couch now. Yeah, it is. It's a big British. It's like a huge
That's hilarious.
Thing. It's a huge British thing.
I don't know anybody who's ever been like, yeah, man, opening weekend of the new Wallace and Gromit. I'm in there. Like, what?
They tried to sneak Garfield back out there, and Garfield didn't win no fucking Oscar nomination, so they're doing something right.
And then The Wild Robot, which I think has the best odds right now, if Flo doesn't dethrone it. It's a 2-horse race between Flo and The Wild
Robot. Good film, enjoyable film. I very much enjoyed it. I probably like Inside Out slightly more. Not a really fair comparison because one's a sequel, but I like Inside Out slightly more. I haven't seen Flo yet, though. I'm going to check it out.
Best cinematography, The Brutus by Lowell Crawley, LOL Crawley. Doom Part 2, Greg Fraser. Hell
what
yeah.
is that movie called? What did you just say?
The Brutalist from Best Cinematography for Lowell Crawley for The Brutalist. It's literally LOL Crawley. Doom Part 2, Greg Fraser, our Batman King. Emilia Perez, Paul.
God no.
Why do we have Emilia Perez in cinematography? Literally, it looks like a Netflix movie. That is derogatory. I say that in a derogatory manner.
Netflix derogatory.
That's insane, bro. What are we doing?
Fuck no. Get out of here.
Come on, bro.
If he comes away with best cinematography, it's over, by the way.
That might ruin my night. honestly.
If that wins, I agree with you. If that happens, you could X the night out.
That
They're
might
sweeping.
ruin my night because I'm gonna be sitting on edge all fucking day. Like they're about to give Amelia Perez all 13 of these awards.
Like, what are we doing, bro?
If you're gonna give Dune anything, you got to give it cinematography, but
I
also
agree.
Maria by Edward Lockman, which I don't have it. What is Maria?
That's the Angelina Jolie Netflix.
Oh,
movie.
that is
Yes.
okay. And she was quote unquote snubbed for that movie as well. But
Who can
and
say?
Nosferatu, our king, Jarin Blaschke.
Yes. Nosferatu got in there. Nosferatu looks fucking great. It's not going to win, but I was very happy to see this nomination.
You know, it
Like, I was
should
very
win.
happy.
They should give Nosferatu the award. Fuck it.
It also got nominated for Best Costume Design. Linda
Yep.
Muir, Nosferatu did. A Complete Unknown by Ariane Phillips. Conclave by Lissy Crystal. Gladiator 2 snuck in there. Janty Yates. And Wicked, your boy, your best friend, Paul Tazewell.
My good personal friend, Paul Tazewell. He
We're rooting for
is
Paul.
a multiple-time Academy Award nominee now, and he will be a winner. It's coming.
If not, give it to Conclave because all those dudes are looking fly as hell in
That's
there.
real drip. That's real
yeah.
drip in Conclave. That's
I also think it's very funny that pretty much Denzel got Gladiator 2 nominated for that because
yes,
he was getting
literally.
pissed off, and then bro,
All of
He
his
had that shit
rings
on
and
so
his-
much that he got
and
the
his
whole movie
robes.
nominated for Best Picture.
He's
for
just
best,
doing he's
best
just
costumes.
doing this with his robes and fiddling with his rings.
he's
the
touching his
entire time.
rings every now and again, and it's like, God damn, those are some dope ass rings.
Nobody else had that shit on in that whole film, but Denzel was getting fits off the entire movie. That's insane, bro.
Paul
Best-
Mescal's like basically not wearing a shirt the entire time. And
Yeah.
like, you know what?
Best film editing, Honora for Sean Baker, who directed the film also, so he edited it himself. The Brutalist, David Jansko, Conclave, Nick Emerson, Amelia Perez, Juliette Welfling, and Wicked by Miriam Kirstein for best film editing.
Gotta be honest, none of those really jumped out at me. Where I was sitting there,
I think this
watching,
will
like,
this will
That's fair.
probably go to The Brutalist if I had to imagine. Production design, The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, Wicked.
Dune Part 2 and Nosferatu are great movies to get there. And also Wicked has great production design.
What are we
Doesn't
going
know-
to do if Doom Part 2 again cleans up all the below the line shit like Doom
Well-
Part 1
We'll be fine
and-
with it.
and just does not sniff best picture again?
we will patiently await Dune Messiah, and then that will
Like-
get all the awards.
Like we're doing. Yeah.
Do y'all know anyone in the world who's watching Dune Prophecy? Because I literally don't know anyone
Nope.
that's watching
Not
it.
a not a soul.
Okay, just want to check in.
Let's see. Best original score, The Brutalist, which is a great score. I will say that. Daniel Blumberg, Conclave by Volker Bertelmann. Great
Great score.
score. Unbelievable score. Dun, 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 dun. Amelia Perez, sure.
Whatever, man.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. All right, bro. Like, what?
Oh,
That's
okay.
a better score than Challengers in what fucking realm, bro? I'm sick of this. They're playing in people's faces with this shit, bro.
Wicked by John Powell and Stephen Schwartz, and The Wild Robot by Chris Bowers, which, hell yeah, good for The Wild Robot.
Does
If I
Wicked
wanna
have
give-
an original score?
I don't know.
If I go on my rant about why Amelia Perez is getting all these fucking nominations, they're gonna think that I'm aligned with Trump or some shit like that.
Oh,
That's why I'm not gonna do it. But I'm tired of this shit, bro. What are we doing, bro? Like, let's just be honest about the quality of the film. Its messaging doesn't mean anything. This is a film that is quite literally a bunch of stereotypes plastered onto the screen with the worst song that you've ever heard, bro. That's literally what the movie is.
At the heart of the film is, can we redeem the worst person in the world? And it's like,
no.
mm,
The conclusion is
the
no.
conclusion is you die in a fire.
Life's a bitch, and then you die.
The answer was a resounding no. End of movie. Fade to black.
So crazy. Best original score, Never Too Late by Elton John and Brandy Carly.
Sure.
Elton John is still out here getting checks and still out here getting awards. That's crazy. Elton John's like 90, bro.
El Mal for Amelia Perez. I couldn't tell you which song that was.
Sure couldn't.
I remember that one. It didn't bang.
It's twice nominated. Mi Camino for Amelia Perez. Like a Bird from Sing Sing. And The Journey, your favorite, the 6888 for Diane Warren.
I can't believe she keeps getting away with this, bro. This is fucking nuts. Diane, I've tweeted this a lot. Diane Warren will get nominated for Best Original Song for the rest of her life. If she puts out a song, they're going to nominate it for Best Original Song. And I can't tell you why, because I can't tell you what any of these songs sound like. No one watches most of these movies she's nominated for. She just keeps getting nominated over. She's been nominated like 20 times.
The 6888 was the Tyler Perry Black Women Soldiers
the
in World War II.
Tyler Perry soldier movie. People said it was good.
Yeah, people have watched that one, but like,
Yeah.
I have to pull up some of her other nominations because they're just like shit you've never heard of in your life.
Again, I say the song should be in the movie, which, you know, I don't know if that would just make Amelia Perez the winner, but you know what I mean.
We couldn't nominate any songs from Wicked. The songs from Wicked are not as good as the songs from
They're not
Perez.
original.
Oh, they're not original.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Diane Warren has been nominated for Best Original Song in 2014, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024.
That's insane.
It's 16 Oscars. She's like the
nuts.
biggest Oscar loser.
That's
She's never
insane.
won, but she's nominated every year.
One of those times they're gonna have her win. It ain't gonna be for a Tyler Perry movie, God bless. But one of those times she's gonna win.
Last year, she got nominated for a song called "The Fire Inside"
For the
from
Cheetos
Flamin'
movie.
Hot movie.
She's cashing checks. That must be a very wealthy woman.
Does she have forgive me for my ignorance. Does she have a recording career outside of movies?
I think she does, but not one that anyone cares about.
Why doesn't Ariana just call her and say, why don't we just collab and then we can both be nominated and maybe I can get you nominated for a Grammy?
For Wicked Part 2. Best Sound, A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
What's so good about the sound in Amelia Perez?
I don't know, because half the songs I couldn't hear.
Bro.
I don't know.
They're playing in our faces right now, bro.
Best visual effects. Alien Romulus. We did it.
Fuck yes. Turn that shit the fuck up.
Yeah.
Dude, hold on. I'm reading Diane Warren's Wikipedia page because I'm still stuck on this. She wrote "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" by Aerosmith.
Yeah, I saw that on her IMDb.
What?
That's nuts. I didn't know that.
What a fucking career. That woman is paid.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I bet she gets residual checks like you wouldn't believe for that song. Every
Aerosmith
time that shit
does
plays
not
on
bang.
AMC.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
Does not bang.
Hold
That
on.
song is really good. No, okay. Don't Want to Miss a Thing is a great song, but Aerosmith.
You don't like Dream On at the end of any 70s movie?
Dream On. I love
It's
Dream
really
On.
good, but I'm really tired of it being in every film possible. Like we
I'm
don't
a
have to
sucker
put
for
it in every
Dream On
film
because of that Rockets like intro video that they used to do forever.
Great video.
Oh, it's so good.
So best visual effects, Alien Romulus, Better Man, the Robbie Williams monkey movie,
Get that shit the fuck out of here.
Jesus Christ.
the movie that literally no one in the U.S. saw. Everyone was saying in
Because
the
who
U.S.
the
we
fuck
don't
is
know
that?
who Robbie Williams is.
Literally, everyone said, "Yeah, you can't make a movie where the center is a monkey, but it's literally a very famous person, but not in the country in which I'm watching the commercial." Nobody knows who Robbie
It
Williams
made
is.
$17 million on a $100 million budget.
Who, if you could pick one famous person to do a biopic, but they're played by a monkey, who would you pick?
I will refrain from answering.
Yo! You set him up for some OG
Fair.
racism next. Good job. Great job, Roy. That's great pocket awareness right there, brother.
He ducked the racismo. You look.
That is great pocket awareness right there. That's Mahomes level pocket awareness right there. I'm very impressed.
shit.
The only way they could get away with it is that it's Robbie Williams.
And like, who is that? That could be anyone.
I know
That
Robbie
could
Williams.
be anyone.
The only way that I know Robbie Williams is because he makes awesome appearances in on the Graham Norton show, which are fed to my algorithm on YouTube. But that's
Who
the
the
only
fuck
reason.
is Graham Norton?
You don't know what?
I don't know who any of these white people are. I know Edward Norton. He's nominated for an Oscar. I don't know Graham Norton.
Yeah, Graham Norton. I don't know who he is beyond like he hosts a talk show over there. Was he famous before that? Or
No, I mean that's what he's famous for. He's basically
okay.
like their big talk show host over
So he's
there.
like Jay Leno
Yeah,
Funnier.
without the gambling debts.
funnier. He's Colbert, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I there's no one really to compare him to over here because he kind of they like flip so frequently. But
Got it.
yeah, so let's see. Doom Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked got nominated for Best Visual Effects.
Shout out to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. A
Totally
movie
forgot that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes existed until I saw these nominations. By the way,
Yeah, I'm like the only person who still likes that movie. I think I'm like the
I
only
was
person
out
who
on it
thinks
from the
about it
beginning.
still.
I'm out. I'm totally out.
Best Makeup and Hairstyling, A Different Man, which was the Sebastian Stan movie that I mentioned. Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. This feels like we're gonna give it to The Substance.
I really hope you do.
Sebastian Stan having the Oscars that Zendaya should have been having will not go unchecked, and it will not go unnoticed, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But also The Substance, they had Margaret Qualley looking like the finest person to ever live. And for that, I feel like they deserve.
For that, we should award them.
Because like Margaret Qualley is a very beautiful woman, but like holy shit. Like it was different in The Substance.
You're gonna have a great time watching that, Royden, and also a horrible time watching that.
And also you'll have a bad time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it made me throw up. Like I had like a delayed reaction, but I'm pretty
the next
sure I
day you
vomited
threw up. Yeah.
because- No, it was like a couple hours later.
You just woke up out of your sleep, just throwing up like, oh,
Literally
shit.
though, like I think The Substance is what did it.
Let's
It gets
see.
real nasty at the end.
Best documentary short, Death by Numbers, I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Best animated short, Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and this is the best film title of the year, Yuck. Best live action short, Aileen, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. So I don't know. Do we want to do predictions or do we want to wait till after some of these award shows?
Wait, let's see some more of these films before.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit. I feel like if we've given a couple of predictions that we feel good about, but the rest of these, who can say?
Yeah, I really don't have a good feel for it because the Amelia Perez thing has thrown me for a loop. I really don't know.
God, I hope it gets shut out. I hope it pulls an Irishman.
It's not getting shut out, but I just hope it doesn't. They could really ruin the Oscars by awarding Amelia Perez with 8 or 9 Oscars. That would really be a tragedy, man. I would not enjoy that.
Hold on. I think what was the? Sorry, I'm looking for.
Maybe I'm still here, just like is incredibly like a banger, and we'll watch that and we'll say, "Holy shit, we were the whole time we should have been talking about this movie." That's what happens when you don't put your fucking movie in movie theaters. We can't fucking see the movie. Maybe that shit is great. Maybe that shit bangs. I don't know. We will never know until you let us see the movie. So please let us see your movie. Thank you.
I'm trying to.
Conclave sweep still on.
So movies with 13 Oscar nominations. Gone with the Wind, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Forrest Gump, Mary Poppins, The Shape of Water, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, From Here to Eternity, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Chicago, Shakespeare in Love, and Oppenheimer.
Not all those movies bang, but Oppenheimer and Amelia Perez being in the same sentence is a sin against cinema, bro. That's crazy. Come on, what are we doing, bro?
It's like if you want to go with like musicals, you're putting it up there with Mary fucking Poppins.
The woke mob has taken over the Oscars.
Can't enjoy Oscars. Woke.
This is crazy.
Amelia
Perez is this generation's Mary Poppins. Are they going to be fucking watching Amelia Perez in fucking preschool classes? Like, well, I guess no, because it's a real movie. I guess it doesn't really work like that. Never mind.
Not the way that they're banning books.
I totally forgot that Amelia Perez is quite literally about a criminal.
Yeah. Zoe Saldana just opening a box of fingers in the preschool class.
Okay, I guess that would be a bit weird. Okay, I
Just-
retract.
Tom, you'll
that.
never believe what we watched at Mother's Day out.
Oh.
Amelia Perez. She sounds like a nice lady. I'm gonna put that on for the kid.
Oh my god, it's a redemption story, you know.
Until it's just not anymore.
Oh man, what a shitty film.
When you texted in the group chat, you were like, "What is Zoe Saldana doing in this banquet scene?" And I was like, "You're so right. What was that?"
At a certain point, I was like, because Caitlin walked in and that scene had started, and she was like, they know that they're being like dumb here, right? Like they're aware of that. And I'm like, I think so, but parts of this movie are strangely serious, and parts of it are like camp, I guess. So I'm not sure they understood the tone of said film.
Yeah, it's they at some points they are telling jokes, but they're never funny. And so it's like the rest of this still feels incredibly serious. But just bad.
I
When
mean,
she-
I genuinely don't know.
When she walks into that doctor's office and they're doing the song about all the rhinoplasty, I
Penis to vagina.
I legitimately thought that the movie had I thought a different movie had come on. Like I was
That's
so confused. That's when I was like, you know the scene in Step Brothers where they come in and they're wearing the tuxedos and where he's like really into it.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Then they start farting and he's like, yeah, in the new context, like the tuxedos are a real fucked up choice to go with.
Yeah,
As soon as
that
that medical scene came on, I was like, I'm into Zoe Saldana, who can't really sing, being in a musical. And then that scene came on, and I said, this is a weird fucking thing to make a musical about. Like, these are weird things to be singing about, and these songs don't really slap. And now I'm getting a little sense of, like, maybe this movie is going to be the worst movie I've ever seen. And I was right. It was awful. It turned out to be terrible. It's not good.
Like I said earlier, man, you can squint and you can tilt your head and you can see how there could be a good movie in here. It's just not a good movie. Like if they had some fucking bangers in the soundtrack, I would be like, fuck yeah, dude, Amelia Perez is the greatest movie I've ever seen, because like I've never seen a story like this before. This is badass. But like all the songs suck. They're just bad. They're not good.
They're literally just bad.
What was the one that you said was good? Then I agree with you. The
Estoy aquí.
Yeah, the Estoy aquí song was like good and felt right for the
whatever it is.
The one that you really liked was No One Mourns the Wicked, which is what we should be rewarding, because that shit fucking bangs every time. It never fails.
Yeah, Defying Gravity is what we should be taking away from this. All right, so that has been an Oscars podcast. We went way too long on this, but yeah, you can find us at One Take Podcast, One Take Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, because it's still around. But yeah, you can find us on all those platforms. And Dex, what are we doing?
#, Sport Florence Pugh. Thunderbolt soon. Maybe she'll show up in the Captain America movie. Who can say? No one knows.
Thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening me.
Guys,
all right.
That's not my Captain America. And that's probably going to be our next episode or one of our next episodes. And I will be seated. It comes out soon. Valentine's Day, I think.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure my wife will love. Hey, babe, we're going to go see Red Hulk.
I love Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, I love you. That film's going to fucking stink. And I will be there.
Can I be honest? I don't love Harrison Ford. Yeah,
no, you've made this perfectly clear.
You've done this before. I can't believe that you are slandering Harrison Ford. He gave us so much.
Yeah, he's cool, but like beloved, like acting icon for what? Why?
I don't know. He gave us Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, I've never seen.
A lot of racism in Indiana Jones. So
God. All right.
A lot of racism.